New York City. His professional record, also an outstanding one. 20 victories, 15 by KO, only 2 defeats and 2 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the top-ranked junior welterweights in the world, John Wesley Meekins.
Both familiar with the rules of the New York State Boxing Commission. You've been briefed downstairs in the locker rooms. 2 things I insist on. On a clinch, when I say break, stop punching immediately. Take a full step back. In case of a knockdown, fighter that's standing, I'll point you to a corner. Stay there until I tell you to come back. Protect yourselves at all times. Good luck to both of you.
And here's a look at Joe Rivera. It's a tall task for Joe Rivera tonight. He's a guy who just has not been very active. He says he just hasn't been able to get fights in his native Puerto Rico, and because of his ability to knock people out, he hasn't been able to get them outside of Puerto Rico either. Meanwhile, John Wesley Meekins, he's a guy on a mission, I think it's fair to say tonight.
He wants to win impressively and start putting W's back in his column. He's shown a good counter right hand when he's been right, along with his jab.
So we'll see about John Meekins. He's very serious when we spoke to him today. He feels that he learned a lot following the loss to Melvin Taylor. That was back in January of last year, so ring rust, I would have to think, has got to be a factor here.
Yeah, you can stay active in the gym, but it's got to show up at some point in the fight, unless you just land a bomb and get your opponent out early, then it doesn't show up.
Now, Rivera, on the other hand, has not exactly been active either, as we mentioned. He's only had 11 fights in the last 6 years. But he did have a fight in February of this year. He was knocked out by Roger Mayweather in 5 rounds. That's not a great embarrassment.
And these guys are both coming out like they want to make up for all the lost time. It's been an active opening round.
Rivera, as you pointed out in the keys, feels that he has to wait on Meekins. Let Meekins make a mistake. Let Meekins come to him. He said the problem of what I did with Mayweather is I went after him and I got tagged. That was Rivera with the right hand.
And he would run into the same problem with Meekins, who, if given the right style comparison, punches very well. Something we're seeing a little more of so far in Meekins is going to the body shots. Other fights he's headhunted a little more, then sometimes he's wanted to establish a jab, and here he wants to be going to the body more.
Rivera was there with some crisp shots early in this fight. Right now, Meekins is obliging Rivera. He is coming to him.
He's trying to establish a little bit of turf here, both for now and later in the fight. However, this is not the distance from which Meekins scores his knockouts when you look at him in close. That's an excellent left hook to the body thrown by Meekins. He turned with it and really dug into the ribs.
Quick left hand by Meekins. Let go. Said he went through some psychological exercises over the past year, whether he wanted to go on, whether he didn't. Now he says, I'm back to it, I'm having fun, and if you can't have fun doing what you do, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Oh, it's like everything.
I thought Meekins won the round, but this is where Rivera would not mind having this fight staged. He did his best work right there.
So Rivera following the game plan. Meekins was coming to him. Rivera did okay, but questionable whether or not he did enough to win the round.
Meekins landed some good uppercuts from a distance, and his jab was effective. He also landed some good left hooks to the body in that round.
Take a look at the punch profile in the first round, and here's what we were just talking about. Meekins very active, throwing 71 punches. Didn't throw as quite as accurately as Rivera, but did do more.
And that's clearly going to be a subjective round to the judges. A couple power shots will decide that.
Meekins was there for that right hand, and Rivera didn't quite get all of it.
Let go of that arm. Let go.
I think Meekins ought to be trying to establish the jab a little bit more in this fight. He's it's one thing to push forward as he's doing, but show different looks. He's got a lot of different styles and tricks.
Something else to keep in mind is that Rivera feels the farther he can take this fight, the better chance he has. He said that he was going to see what Meekins had for the first 4 rounds, wait for him and not try to do too much himself. And certainly he's not doing too much right now. Meekins is pounding on it and getting much the better of it, and down goes Rivera.
And Meekins stepped back and created room for himself.
And Rivera stays down. He may not make it. No, he did not. And just like that, it's over. So we don't have to tell you which John Wesley Meekins showed up tonight.
I think Rivera could have done a little better job there, timing that count and making a better effort. He waited too long to get up. He also stayed trapped along those ropes for far too long. It's one thing to fight inside, but he did not want to be on the ropes.
And Meekins finished him. That's one thing you have to say about John Wesley Meekins. He got his man in trouble and he got him out of there.
Always one of the best offensive fighters in his division. And he didn't do it tonight as much with the counter. He did it with the lead.
So a very good first step back on the title trail for John Wesley Meekins after the knockout loss to Meldrick Taylor.
I see Meekins, he traps his opponent along the ropes, and Rivera not doing anything here. He's just reacting. So Meekins starts to pump the uppercuts, and then he turns, and then he steps back a little bit to get the distance and gets back outside. And when he does that, the knockdown is going to come. He was smothering himself for a while in there and realized it, stepped back and adjusted beautifully.
He didn't miss too many punches in that exchange once he did get him in trouble. Let's make it official now with Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Harry Papacarolandis reaches the 10 count at 1 minute, 36 seconds of the second round. The winner by knockout victory, John Wesley Meekins.
So it only took that man just about a round and a half.
And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with blue trim and weighing an even 122 pounds from New Paltz, New York. His professional record, 33 victories, 22 KOs, only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, the NABF Junior Featherweight Champion, Tracy Harris Patterson.
Kenny Tracy, NABF rules, New York State Athletic Commission rules are governing this fight, and you were given your instructions prior to. I want you to listen to my commands during the course of the bout. Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands and good luck to both of you.
So there's a look at Tracy Harris Patterson. Both these guys really feel they have a mission. There's something they need to do. In the case of Mitchell, it's get his title back. Whether it be WBO, WBA, IBF, he doesn't care. He just wants the title back. And Tracy Harris Patterson wants the title, period.
They are coming in at the top of their games, and in this weight class, the way the punches should fly, you get your money's worth.
Yeah, always fun to watch bantamweights, featherweights. These are junior featherweights.
It's good to see some of the media emphasis on the sport changing to some of the lighter divisions.
These guys should, and you hate to judge a fight on paper, but these guys should provide an entertaining evening. As you can see, Patterson with a higher knockout ratio, and yet Mitchell's the one who's talking knockout this morning.
So it makes his game a little odd sometimes.
Mitchell's been in there with some good ones. Julian Solis, he fought down in San Juan. He's been in there with Gabby Canizares, beat him in 12 rounds. And of course, was the title holder in the WBO. Lost his WBO title, incidentally, on a headbutt.
When he talks knockout, I'm sure he's feeling that coming on the road to Patterson's domain, he's taking on everybody, referees, judges. You've got to fight on the road like you need a couple extra rounds anyway.